Hello and welcome wherever you're watching in the world. This is Chemicals Knowledge to Hub TV. I'm Joe Pickard, and we are dedicated to bringing you interviews with the industry's finest. Sabin aims to become the world leader in innovative and responsible total precious metals recovery and refining, measured by highest levels of customer satisfaction and market share. And I'm over the moon to be talking today to their Vice President, Brad Cook. It's great to see you, Brad. How are you guys doing? And also, happy anniversary, 75 years. My goodness.
Thank you. Yeah, we're doing well. I think we're all a bit stir crazy around the world, sheltering in place, but we're doing very well. Thank you.
Fantastic. Now, I know obviously you're not going to be able to do the big celebrations for the 75th anniversary that you may well have had planned, but hopefully you're going to be able to, or have marked it in some way, in a differing way, in the pandemic.
Yeah, we will. Obviously, trade shows around the world have been postponed, so it'll be later in the year that those get-togethers happen. Some of them are taking place virtually, which gives us some opportunity to communicate those messages. But I think the celebration will probably mainly happen in the next 12 months rather than in the next few months.
Now, look, we're using technology today, but what is the main technology focus areas for you guys on a daily basis?
Well, I would say it's focused on the front end and the back end, as we call it. The front end is we must have accurate homogenization of the customer materials, accurate sampling and accurate analysis of those samples to determine the asset value that that customer has shipped to Sabin, and then either cut a check for that customer or return physical metal or electronically transfer that metal back to the customer. So that's the key, is having that accuracy of result for the customer's value. And then the back end, as we call it, is the refining portion. After those customer materials have been essentially purchased by Sabin, now it's time to get extracting the precious metals. And, Sabin is pyrometallurgical, which means we melt the catalyst. It's a very unique process. It's one that was developed by Sabin to melt the alumina catalyst down, and in that way we feel that we provide the maximum value return to the customer compared to the hydrometallurgical dissolving methodology that's been around for many, many decades.
So which markets do you serve, both in terms of industry and geographic areas as well?
Well, geographically, all of our operations are in North America. We have a plant in Canada, one in North Dakota, one in upstate New York, and our headquarters is out on Long Island. In terms of who we serve, gosh, we must be well over 120 countries now that we've done business in around the world. We have sales team members in the Middle East, in Asia, Latin America, and of course, States and Canada. We're operating every day in many, many languages, and we can transfer those precious metals around the world as needed to those customers. So it's a balancing act of some very, very talented people in logistics and shipping at our logistics corporation we call SILC, Sabin International Logistics Corporation, who arrange those sorts of shipments from around the world to come into the United States and Canada for treatment. And then on the other side, there's an awful lot of talented people and smarter people than myself working with those materials, sampling them, analyzing, and then making those financial transactions that the customers need to keep their businesses running.
Wow, that's so amazingly inspirational to think that in 75 years you've gone from this amazing humble beginning, this idea, this spark, to where you are today. Do you think that through that journey you've kept the essence of what the company was at the beginning?
I do. I think it's rather important to be a privately owned, especially family owned company in an industry like precious metals. There's a lot of long term thinking that has to go into any commodity based business. The quarterly report knee jerk reaction that sometimes happens from publicly owned management and leadership, while necessary to support the stock price and the short term returns. For a company like Sabin, the fact that Andy Sabin and his son Jonathan, our president, um, they can invest in the infrastructure. They invest in the employees and their training and their families. Really, I I don't know exactly what the average age or the average longevity, I should say, of a Sabin employee is, but we have a large percentage of our employees who've been with the company 20, 25, even more than 30 years. And that's a testament to the value of working for one firm for your entire career is just it's a real blessing. And as I say, I feel very fortunate to be involved with this organization.
Yeah, that speaks volumes. Now, we're going to have to come to a close in a second, but I just really wanted to know how COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic, has affected the company, and what strategies you put in place, because obviously you work across different areas of America.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, from the beginning, it was taken very seriously with so many of our employees based in New York. Um, we've altered our shift schedules to make sure that our employees that are the hands-on, get it done people on the floor are protected. They're broken into very small teams. So if anyone should have a symptom, then that entire team would go in team. Thankfully, that hasn't been necessary. We've got all of our administrative people working from home who possibly can. And of course, the sales staff and myself, we're usually on the planes, trains, and automobiles around the world visiting customers, et cetera. And that's been put on hold. But um, I don't know if you may have seen in the news that for quite a period of time, South Africa was forced to stop their exports of platinum and palladium. And even though Sabin is already an essential business serving the pharmaceutical industry, et cetera, having those exports of platinum and palladium shut down made what we do in the precious metals recycling business that much more essential. So I think we feel that we have a responsibility to set the economy back where it's supposed to be, to help the energy companies and the oil companies and the chemical and pharmaceutical companies keep themselves running.
So hopefully at some point you're going to be able to give that the proper celebration that it deserves. Now, Brad, I wondered if you could just give me some background information on how Sabin was founded.
Yeah, of course. 75 years ago, Andy Sabin's grandfather was pushing a cart around in the streets of New York City, picking up scrap metal after World War II. And that was the sort of humble beginnings that began what is the Sabin group of companies now around the world, with the enormous growth and market share, especially in the last 20 years. We're one of only a few companies who are able to do what we do and serve the energy, pharmaceutical, and chemical industries.
Well, fantastic, and long may that continue. Well done to Sabin and to all of the team there. And Brad, it's been an absolute joy talking to you. Thank you so much for taking the time. I hope you guys get back to some form of normality and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and the same to you and your families.